Hi, I'm Eric Grant from Sailrite. In this video, we're going to show you how to make protective covers for your curtain enclosure panels that have glass. And these panels will prolong the life of the clear vinyl. They're made of protected fabric on the backside and canvas fabric. This is Sattler, or you could use umbrella marine grade fabric. And they use twist lock fasteners to secure over your enclosure panels to prolong the life. The technique that I use is extremely fast, so let's get started and show you how to make these to prolong the life of your curtain enclosure panels.
Even though these curtains are made from a high quality clear vinyl called Strataglass, it's always a good idea to protect them. The first step is patterning from the enclosure curtain panel.
I've got my clear vinyl window enclosure panel down and its outside surface is facing up, and I'm going to put Durascrim pattern material on top. This is by far the fastest way to do this, I believe, and just so that we have it in the window area. Then I'm going to put a few weights on it to keep it where I want it. Then with a marker, now you really should have at least 1.5 inches of excess fabric, excess pattern material around the perimeter, and I didn't do that there, so now I've got plenty. Okay. With a marker, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm going to trace right where the glass is, all around the perimeter. It's important to label whether you have the inside or outside facing up, and so that's what I've done. So now we're going to take the clear enclosure panel away and work with the pattern. Next up, we're going to use the Sailrite canvas patterning ruler, and you could use something else if you don't have this, and we're going to put this line in that area there and mark a line that's 1.5 inches past that. So I just carefully guide this along the side all the way around the perimeter.
What is the 1.5 inch? Well, the cover will extend about 1 inch past the perimeter of the window, and the extra 1/2 inch will be the fold under in a later step.
Now we're going to cut out the pattern on those lines, and notice I extended the lines all the way to the corner, so we did that all around the perimeter. And then I'll show you what's next after we're done. Okay, this is a panel that's different than the one we patterned for, and it's all done. But if you notice, this panel has hook and loop. And so I had to make a modification to this panel so that the hook and loop on the port and starboard side would be exposed, which basically just means I need to mark the canvas and then add a 1/2 inch so that it doesn't fall in the hook and loop. So there are situations like that where you'll need to make modifications to your measurements, but not very often.
The first step is to cut the canvas to size with the pattern. Then we'll cut the protectant with the canvas.
This is the outside surface, but this fabric is just regular Sattler marine grade, so there's no right side or wrong side. It looks like I can nest it better with the outside facing down. We'll mark it when we're done. So all it has to do is fit within this panel, and then I'm going to either put sandbags on it or some weights on it. Sometimes I actually tape it down, but I don't think I need to do it with this. And then no reason to use a hot knife, just use scissors and cut, or if you want, you can mark it and then cut around the perimeter, right on the edge of the pattern material. Okay, so now the out is facing down, which means this is the inside, so I'm going to mark this in. And we're going to move that out of the way. Now we're going to get our protectant fabric. This protected fabric has a gray side that's not as soft as this side, which is a whitish gray. So this is the side that I want to be facing the outside of my panel, which means the inside of my canvas will be facing up. And then I positioned it on here, and I want to cut this oversized just a teeny bit. So you need to make sure, I mean, here I'm really close, but that's going to be fine. And I'll just cut around the perimeter because we're going to be cutting this away after it's sewn. So approximately a 1/2 inch to 1 inch away.
Next up, we'll score our canvas so that it folds under at a 1/2 inch, as we discussed earlier.
Now we have our canvas piece, and the inside needs to be facing up because you're going to score it. So this, you don't want to cut fibers, but I'm going to use an awl and the Sailrite canvas patterning ruler, and I'm going to score it a 1/2 inch from the edge so that we can create a 1/2 inch hem. So this works really well, And you notice that after I'm done, then it will fold right on that spot, and we'll actually use this and crease it really well so that it naturally wants to fold there. If you feel like you're going to hurt your fabric, then mark it at 1 inch with this tool, like so, and then fold to the 1 inch, and then crease it well with the Sailrite canvas patterning ruler. It's your choice, but this I find is easiest as long as you're careful not to hurt the fibers. Any curves sometimes have to have a relief slit cut. You can tell there's excess fabric there, but just don't cut deeper than your 1/2 inch seam allowance, and that should go around there nicely.
In this chapter, we're going to sew the Protect It to the canvas. We're going to fold our 1/2 inch under as we sew.
So now with it on top, in other words, inside is facing this side, I'm going to flip the whole thing over so the outside surface of the canvas is now facing up, and you should see the gray around the perimeter. Make sure it's well within, it's not, the canvas is not sticking over the edge anywhere, which it's not. It's important to tack this down flat. So right now it's flat, and I like to do it within the edge, not too close to the edge, because we're going to have to hem this under. And I'm going to put a pin about every 12 inches around the perimeter, making sure that it stays nice and flat. This part is pretty easy. We scored this a 1/2 inch, so it's going to tuck under here, and I want to tuck this side, and then I want to tuck this side under, because we're going to be sewing down this side first. Make sure it's nice and flat. The pin should ensure that, and you want to sew very close to the raw edge of your assembly, and I'm doing a 6mm stitch length. And at the beginning I want to do some reversing, and I'm using a Tex 90 thread and a size number 20 needle. So as I'm sewing, I'm going to bury my needle when I stop, and I'm going to fold this under, and it folds right on the score line, and I'm going to go like that, making sure that everything's flat, and sew to that point, and then I'm going to repeat that step yet again all around the perimeter. I'll show you what we do when we get to an extreme corner. Okay, so here we're coming to the extreme corner, and all I do is tuck this down, and I leave the tail. See the tail? You can go that way or the other way depending on which corner you start with, and we're going to sew as though that's going to be cut off, because it will in a later step. So we're going to sew right to the corner with the needle coming up a little bit, and pivot around and sew that edge. That's all you do.
And now we'll trim away the Protect It fabric, and we'll sew an inner stitch to strengthen it.
Now we're going to pull the pins. The Protect It fabric does not unravel, so we're just going to cut all around the perimeter like this, very close to that edge. And any dog ears like this, we just cut them off with scissors, cutting around the perimeter. Do this one because it's super fast, like this. Just don't cut your canvas. Onto the canvas side, we're going to mark 1.5 inches from the edge, and I just do that with my chalk and do it lightly all around the perimeter. We're going to be sewing on top of this line. This is pretty easy. We just sew directly on top of that line, starting at one of the corners and doing some reversing at the beginning and the end. This is a wet rag. It's not a microfiber rag, so it will leave little white particles, but you can easily get the chalk off with a wet rag.
In the next chapter, we'll install eyelets to the cover and studs to the enclosure panel. It only takes one at each corner.
So now we have a super soft backside against the glass, and something that'll protect it for years and years, and it'll fit on just like this. So what I do now is I take a measuring device, and I mark at 1 inch at each of the corners, because that's where it should fall approximately with my chalk. I also marked 1 inch away from the glass at this rounded area. Then we just position this, and it doesn't have to be exactly right, but it needs to be close to those lines. So I'm going to position it because it is not a rectangle. Looks good. I'm going to put a twist lock fastener in this corner, this one, up here, and up here. It doesn't take a lot. All we're trying to do is hold it in place. So I'm going to go horizontal here, and we want to lift this up and make sure we're not going to be in our glass, and we obviously are not. So I'm just going to put this on and mark the center at the corners horizontally. Now up here, this one I'm going to put in following the curve. So it's not going to be, it's going to actually go like that. We need to make sure that it's not in the glass, and it isn't. So I'm going to put it close to that edge, mark that locale. Yep, perfect. Okay, so now I have my twist lock fastener hole cutter, and I'm going to position it right over that oval, like so. Check it twice, because once you get a hole in there, you can't remove it. Good, because we want to put this in the actual cover, not the enclosure panel first. Give it a few blows until it gets buried into the rubber pad. It's very important to have a rubber pad, not a piece of wood or something hard plastic, because you want to protect these prongs. So there's our hole. We're going to do that at all the corners, and I'll show you how to put the fastener in. Okay, so since this is black, I'm using the black eyelet for the twist lock. The black eyelet doesn't come with a black washer, so we put it on the back side, and then I'm using the prong bending tool, but you can use a screwdriver for this and bend these prongs over like that, and then I usually just give it a blow with a hammer, and our twist lock eyelet is with back plate our washer is installed, and we'll do that to all the corners of this panel. Okay, with all the fasteners in the protective cover, we're going to position it in our spot right where we had it before, and then I got to find, there it is. Then I'm going to mark right where these fall on our enclosure and lift them up to make sure they're in a great spot. We'll do that at all the corners. Okay, so this is the twist lock that we're using. It has 2 prongs, and we obviously want it to go this way. So I'm going to position this 2-prong hole punch right over that oval in the center of it, and then give it a few blows with the mallet. This one goes through really easily. Make sure you have the cutting pad on the bottom side. The 2 slits are done. This gets pushed through, and I like to actually run it through the eyelet and then put this pad here, which gives you access to the back side. And be careful not to hurt your glass. Put the back plate on, and then you can use the top to kind of bend the prongs over with the prong bender or a screwdriver if you don't have this tool. And then just give it a few blows like that, and she is installed.
The clear vinyl window protection cover is now complete. You can check out the list of materials that we used and the tools in the description below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to be notified of new tutorial videos when they become available. I'm Eric Grant, and from all of us here at Sailrite, thanks for watching.